Everybody, welcome to Work Together. This is Michelle Tabers, as you probably know, and I'm excited that we're going to have another session together. Apologies in advance, they're doing construction as of, well, I was away on that residency, so since I got back, it's been really noisy in here. And so there's going to be background noise, but you can just turn down your volume during our work session and turn up your music, and we can still be together and support each other in our projects. So how does it work? I have my handouts. Okay. Here are my notes. Just as a reminder, especially if you're joining us new too, this is your first time. So the idea of this is to have a format where we can work with each other. It's really nice, especially if you're used to working alone a lot, to have companionship, to have people around. It just, for me, it helps me a lot to have, a little bit less isolation in the studio. I love being by myself. I'm really good at being by myself, but sometimes it's just nice to have company, and I love connecting with you. I love hearing where in the world you're from, what you're working on, what brought you here today. So please put all that in the comments below, and we can just support each other and answer questions and share. So the idea is that we'll work in two segments with a little break in between. So we start, we set our intention for what we want to get done in that segment, set a timer, work, and then come back to it and do another 30-minute segment or 25-minute segment. That's the Pomodoro timer system, which is an Italian author did this productivity method that I really love. It works really well for me because it helps me to step back from things and I can get lost in things and then get burnt out. So just imagine how you'll feel when you get this done. Hopefully you'll feel accomplished, or just at least have fun during your segment, whatever it is you're working on. You can bring any project. I have friends like, well, I don't think I can bring spreadsheets. I'm like, bring your spreadsheets, Linda. Everyone's welcome. Whatever type of work you're working on, you're welcome to work with us. So today I'm working on wrapping some art. I went to the residency. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I shared some of my experience there. Oh, actually, our last work together session was when I was at the residency. The internet connection was really bad, so I had to pre-record it. Anyway, I started doing new stuff, and I want to clear off the wall here so that I can start putting up my new ideas and working on new stuff. By the way, I'm going to try and find my lav mic. My apologies. I just got back from like a 3-hour road trip. I had to go up to Sonoma County with my husband. We left really early, but I delayed us because it took me a while to get ready, and I literally just waltzed in here 10 minutes ago. So I didn't get a chance to set up the lab mic, but I will get it. So anyway, if you want to just give a shout out, if you're here on the live recording, just say hi so I know you're hearing me, everything's okay before we get started. And I know there were people waiting when I started, so I know someone's there. There's someone. Hi, Mickey. Yay! Glad to have you here. I can't read all the comments right now. I'll get my computer because the phone is a little too far for me to read the teeny little print. Anyway, I will check in with you when I get my computer. I will put, can you hear that construction noise? Tell me how bad is it. I'm hoping with a lav mic, which is a directional mic, that'll pick up my voice more and kind of blot out what we're hearing in the background. Maybe it's not as bothersome to you, I hope not, but anyway, it is what it is. Okay, so let me get my other phone for the timer. Where did I even put it? Okay, well, I got my computer for a timer. Anyway, let us know what you're working on and go ahead and get started. We're officially starting our segment. I don't know what happened to my phone. Like I said, I literally just got here and just in the nick of time to start. So we're going to do Pomodoro timer. This is perfect because it's 10:35. So sorry I won't be able to show you the time, but I'll try and give you like a 5-minute warning when it's about to wrap up the first segment. I'll pop on, see who's with us today, if you have any comments. Laura, welcome back. It's so good to see you always. Oh, wow. She's working on an homage to Edvard Munch's Scream, but a modern twist. That sounds exciting. And, okay, so here's a name I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce. Is it Ineka or Ineka? Am I even brutalizing your name? My apologies. Hello from the Netherlands. And, okay, so Laura says the construction noise isn't too bad. Mickey can hear the hammering. Okay, but anyway, I will plug in the mic and maybe it'll improve things a little bit for us. Okay, you get started. I'll plug in my mic. That's part of my work segment. Plugged in. Now I have to pass it under my work table and here we are. Okay, mic is on. If you guys want to let me know if you can hear me, that would be great. Ooh, I love it. People are speaking Dutch to each other on the comments. I don't know what you're saying. It's something like, hey, is everything okay? Is everything good? I don't know, I'm guessing. Oh, Mickey's working on a children's book for your great-granddaughters. That's so sweet. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna get my chair. Now that I'm hooked up. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. Archduke, I got it right. Oh, okay, that's cool. We've had a number of Dutch people on here. I think last time or a couple times ago. I love it. Nederlands. Okay, Laura says she can hear us. Great. Yay. All right. And did it help get rid of some of the background noise? Now they're quiet. Now that I ask you, they're not hammering at the moment. They were using some kind of like loud, drill. They're using a drill, but anyway. Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry too. a Sharpie so that I can label these. I'm looking for my other scissors because I have these scissors that are really good for cutting tape. You know how scissors, when you cut tape, they get all like gummy? And they make these scissors that are like sort of non-stick scissors. And I love them because when you cut tape with them, they don't get gummed up. Anyway. I had them last time I was here. I unpacked them from the residency and I don't see them, unfortunately. Okay, by the way. Oh, neat. Okay, I'm just going to mess up your name. Sorry. Ineka is going to paint 2 large doors with tropical plants in a coffee shop. Wow, that sounds so cool. Okay, I got it right the second time, but I don't remember. Sorry how I said it. Forgive me. Okay, so we're also going to have a timer now that I have this device. Do not disturb. We have about 16 more minutes on this timer, so I will put it where you can see it, just in case you want to check in on time. Oh, isn't this funny? I put the computer on top of this non-stick scissors, so yay, I found them. Okay. That's great. So I use white tape, artist tape, for labeling my art once it's wrapped. So I have a bunch of things over there, and on the spine I write the size and the media and stuff like that, and that way I can find the work without unwrapping it. And I'm also really particular about tape. Just the neatness of it, I know this is kind of nutty, but I cut off the edges because I just don't like the torn edge. I think it looks better so. Recycling tape. I don't know if you guys saw my post on YouTube in the the posts section of people you subscribe to. I showed how I had packed my brushes for the artist residency. I had really big wide brushes and I taped them to the bottom of the box so that the bristles wouldn't get dented, and it was a great system. and I saved all the tape when I got back, and I'm using it, recycling it to wrap these paintings. All right, wrapped. One down, 5 to go. I think I can get this done during our session today. That would be great. Okay, so that's how I label them, sort of like the spine of a book, so that I can find them on the shelf later. See if the microphone will let me go this far. It'd be great. I have to look into those like yoga teacher mics. If you ever watch any YouTubers on yoga, they have this like wireless thing they clip onto the back of their yoga pants, and they can move freely without dragging the cord around with them. Look, I just made it to the farthest one, so that's good. And the other ones are closer, so it'll work. Double checking for cleanliness. I cleaned them off yesterday because I was preparing to do this task, so just this soft microfiber cloth to clean them. Okay. This is good for me to be labeling these because I forget the titles of my works. Now it'll help me remember them. So I'm writing them once again. I wrote them on the back of them when they went out to be in a show. A couple of shows they were in, but then they've been back in the studio and I haven't taken them off the wall in quite some time. It's exciting to freshen up the energy in the studio, make space for new ideas and new work. It's been lovely having this as a display. If you saw my studio tour, last studio tour I did was in March, and I show you all the works that are hanging up here. If you're interested, I will put a link in later. In fact, I'll make a note so I don't forget. Studio tour. Need more lifting. Okay. Matuz says, if you left a piece of tape cut on straight, you couldn't sleep. No, I'm not quite. I'm not that obsessive. I just like things to look nice, but I don't have that kind of compulsiveness about it. But it's like, hey, if you can do it, why not? Neater. I didn't start off this way. This is like a learned behavior where I started to see how much nicer things look to my eye when people did that. I used to be the kind of person who just like leave drawings on the floor and they'd get destroyed. I didn't know how to like wrap or care for my art or keep it nice. And now I've, over the years, after losing drawings and all kinds of things, I've learned to just be more careful and measured and take my time with my tasks. So, but I know what you're saying. I get it. I think it's funny, but it makes me happier to do it this way. So I take the time to do it this way. It's about beauty. The more beauty I can create in this world, the happier I am, it seems. And on the break, I have some exciting news to share, but I'll wait for a break to tell you. it's so loud. Okay. And I realize I'm out of bubble wrap. Oh no, 2 more sheets. So that's good. So I won't have for the last one, but I'll get some more. By the way, you know, you've heard me talk about this a lot, and I know there's a little bit of irony because I paint with acrylics, but I try to avoid plastics. And for safely wrapping art, I haven't found a really good packing material alternative. So if you have a suggestion, please leave it in the comments. I would love to know because I really am trying to reduce my use of plastics as much as possible. Oh my gosh. Made a tiny little gallery, Calibri Gallery. Oh, I want to hear about that. Do you say Stoop, Art Stoop? Is that how you pronounce it? Anyway, I want to hear about your gallery and where in the Netherlands are you? What town, if you don't mind sharing? I'd be curious to know. I was in Den Haag. That was the last time I was in the Netherlands. I've been to Amsterdam a few times because as a college student, I spent a year studying in Strasbourg. And I had the Interrail pass, which is what you get when you're a college student. You can get it just cheaper than a Eurail pass. And I got to go to Amsterdam all the time. It was just a quick little train ride. In fact, I went there one time and stayed, and I brought my paint set, and I left it there. And because I had the free train, I took the train just to go pick up the paint set. I don't know how far a train ride it is from Strasbourg, but it was pretty much a day's trip to go get that paint set. But you know, I was a student on a budget. I didn't have money to replace it, so. Okay, so this is Sky Flower, and it's almost time for our break. There we go, there's our white-crowned sparrow. So, I am going to get something to drink and eat because I didn't really hardly have time for breakfast. I had one little piece of toast before I left. Anyway, let me get something. So how did it go for you guys? The first segment, did you get something done? Were you able to focus? Did you get distracted? Feeling good, feeling frustrated, whatever it is, all feelings are welcome here. Thank you. Bon appetit. It's not a very fancy breakfast. This is this amazing gluten-free oat bread that I get from a bakery in San Francisco. During the shelter in place, they deliver to my house, which is amazing. I'm not a big bread person, but I didn't have time to prepare anything else, so. Anyway, so my news. I'm going to share my news with you. For decades, I have been having a yearning to move away from the city into the country. And because of various reasons, that hasn't been possible. And now my husband and I are looking into that. And we've actually been looking for a couple of years. We wanted somewhere that's not too far from the Bay Area. And we may have found a place. I drove up there yesterday afternoon to look at it, and he couldn't go because of work. So we both ended up waking up early enough this morning that we were able to go there really quickly, drive up, walk the property, drive back, and we're gonna try and make an offer on it in the next day or two. So that is very exciting, and I will certainly share that with you. It's a fixer-upper, but it's in the woods, and it's just, I mean, I'm sure some of you live in the country, and that's not as exciting as it is to me, but I live in a beautiful area, and I'm not putting down where I am. I love it here, and I'm wondering if you guys have this dilemma too, because as a creative person involved in the arts, I'm very interested in the contemporary art scene. So there's the galleries and the museums and my fellow artists. There's so much here to stimulate me and so much connectivity that I love that's really important to me. So, but at the same time, you know, I'm a person who likes to hike and go backpacking and just be in the trees and just, you know, that feeling of being in nature and to study and learn from the interaction between the birds and the mammals and the insects and the plants. I just love that so much, and it's really where my heart is. And it started when I used to teach at a camp for adults in the woods up in the Sierra Nevada. And it was, I mean, I would just turn into almost a different person by the end of that week. Just so connected and so slowed down and so at peace, you know. And you know, I do that through my meditation. Like, I think you can cultivate that feeling anywhere, but there's some additional boost that you get, I believe. And just, this is just me, you know. Tell me your thoughts. Any of you guys live in the country? Do you prefer urban environment? My husband more prefers the urban environment, but he wants to make me happy, so he's totally down for this country living experiment. But we'll probably be going back and forth, at least for a while. So, Mickey, still love the country. Laura, you were looking for your glasses. I feel you. Sometimes just getting everything together takes a minute, but that's part of the process, isn't it? I think one thing that I'm not saying this is for you, but just for myself, sometimes I forget that all those pieces, the cleanup, the setup, they're all part of the creative process. Like, I feel a little like my creative self is like a little kid, and she just wants to get in and get messy and not worry about cleaning up. And over time, I've learned to make that sort of a ritual, the setup and the cleanup, and include it as part of the work time. But for some reason in my head before, it was like the only time I'm actually working is when I'm making the thing. It could just be me. Anyway. You are also, okay, so I'm going to say, the first way maybe I pronounced it was Einica or Enica. Einica? Is that how I pronounced it? Like I or E, the initial letter in Dutch. Do you pronounce that I or E? Because American or English pronunciation, we have so many different ways to pronounce all the vowels. Oh, I didn't set the timer for the break. Oops. I think we're supposed to get started again, you guys. Oh, Laura, you're kind of right in between. That sounds nice. Is that like Western Pennsylvania or, oh, Indiana. Right, you said Indiana. That sounds really, really nice, and I bet you're having a beautiful summer there. I love summers in the East Coast and Midwest. I just love the warm, sultry weather. We don't get as much heat here because I live close to the bay. So it's beautiful. I mean, most people love it, because it stays about 72 degrees most of the year. What is that in Celsius? Maybe like 22, 24 or something like that. Anyway, it's a very lovely moderate climate, but I like wearing shorts and going swimming and getting hot. This one, this is ocean flower. Okay, I'll set the timer. Sorry, you guys, I'm a little slow on the uptake. I'm not sure when the next one of these is going to be. My life has just gotten to the point where it's been really tricky trying to keep up with this. And I do love this time, and I love connecting with you. And I hear that it's helpful for people, and that means so much to me. That is just one of my joys in life, is to connect with you and hopefully be of service to you. So I will find ways to connect. But one thing that I've learned a lot, this has been an ongoing theme in my life, but I'm a person who's creative and engaged and active, and I like to teach, and I like to make, and have friends, and my nature time, and my meditation, all these things I like to do, and gardening and cooking. But one thing that I really have been trying to glean these gifts of this time of being sheltering in place. And one is just reminding myself that doing less is better for me. And what that means is I can still do all the things I want to do, but I just have to spread them out. So I had to stop doing this every week because it was too much. And there's more than just me sitting down. I have to make a thumbnail and a description and promote it so people know that they can come on my Instagram and YouTube and et cetera, and add links and set up the camera, and so it's not just an hour of me working, it's several hours of me working every time we do one of these, which is, again, my joy and privilege. I'm not complaining at all, but I don't have enough time to do that every week right now. So that said, I'll keep you posted. Just watch it, as hopefully you're subscribed and you will get the notification when the next one's going to be. And also because of the noise up there, I'm a little sensitive to it myself, and it's okay now because I'm talking to you, but it's still a little overwhelming. And I might do the next one from my home office so that I can just do admin stuff. I won't be doing the art stuff as much, but hopefully that won't be a problem for you. You guys are doing your own thing in your own space. So anyway, all that to say is stay tuned for the next one, because there will be another one. Okay, so this one is Sky Flower. Whatever. That's really cool. Mickey, it says that you said that you're from Anza. Is that near the Anza Borrego Desert? I used to live in San Diego when I was a kid, and we would go there on vacation, and it was so fun. My favorite part was taking ice cubes from the hotel ice machine, and the pool was so warm. We'd just put them in there and watch them melt instantaneously. It was so warm there. Okay, Mickey, so you're 4,800 feet above the Anza Borrego Desert, so it's sort of, is it like foothills, like oak woodlands, kind of grasslands there? Or is it more chaparral? Is that what you call it when you get all the like coyote brush and the manzanitas and the madrones and all that? I guess I'm thinking of the landscape here, but I think it's not that different there in Southern California. I've been, I went to, up in the mountains, where did we go for a wedding last year? I can't remember now the name of the town. It was really sweet up there, but it's different. It feels different. I've lived in Northern California for over 30 years, and so now it's in my blood. I'm like of this place. And it took me a long time to get used to it. It's so interesting. I really think we're all animals, you know, at heart. Like, we do physically respond to our spaces and get used to them. And our bodies are having a relationship with a space that's beyond the intellect. And I remember when I first moved out here, I waited all summer for it to get warm. It was like my body was expecting these extremes because I've been on the East Coast where it would snow in the winter and get really hot in the summer. And here it just kind of stayed in between. And so every day it was sort of like waiting for the heat. And it never got warm. Anyway, now I'm completely of this place. I mean, all the plants and the animals and the landscape that I used to think, oh, it was so dry. I didn't think it was beautiful. Because I love lush and I love greenery, and I was so used to that. But now I've come to just love the beauty of Northern California. And it's really nice too in the spring. It gets very green here because we have our rainy season, obviously, for those who don't know the climate here. And that's when everything is really green and rainy season, which is, you know, November into March. All right, I'm done with all the bubble wrap I have, and I'm going to put my tools away before I start a new task. to work on the computer for my last 14 minutes. about 5 minutes left. Sorry, I hope it's so loud here upstairs, the construction noise. I really hope you can hear me, because I can barely hear myself talk or think. Anyway, so Anna, you asked, am I documenting, filing paintings to sell, send, or store? Right now I'm storing them. So these have been in shows already. They're already documented. They were hanging on my wall just because I had a bunch of studio visits right before shelter in place, and I had some planned that got canceled. And anyway, so I'm just wrapping them up so that I can have the wall fresh to use for new projects and ideas. Okay. Anna wants to know recommended course for iPad 13. That's exciting. You have a new iPad. I think I'll have like iPad 2. My iPad is ancient. But I love it in the kitchen because I use it for recipes, and also just YouTube is my TV. I think I'm with my tribe here when I say that. It's like I'm very little interested in anything on broadcast TV, but I am so interested in, you know, native plants and vegan cooking and, you know, people who fix up houses in the Loire Valley. I mean, I'm just fascinated by all these different things, and that's where you can find what you want to watch on YouTube. Aptly named. So, Cindy, hi! Glad you could make it. I hope you're working on something fun today. You know, it's really funny. I'm looking at the comments, but myself is a little delayed, and I have this really frowny face looking down at the screen. I think that's because of the glare, and I have these blue light glasses I normally wear when I use work on the computer, but they're over there, and I didn't take the time to grab them just now. Anyway. Oops, here's our timer. Oh, I didn't reset it. Okay. So I'm going to need to end at 11:30, so we're going to end in a minute here. And if you have any last minute things you want to share or say to the group or to me, and I just want to thank you so much for joining me. It's really an honor to have this time. I love, love, love connecting with you. And it is super exciting. 2 people from the Netherlands, people from all over the world come to this. And it's exciting to me. So I appreciate you, and I hope you'll come to the next one. Keep your eye, make sure that you're on my, that you're subscribed. You know, you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because they will tell you when the next one's going to be. I always do a post or announcement about it, and then when I set up the actual live broadcast, I do that usually like 24 hours in advance, and then you'll also get a clickable link to it, so you can be here for the next one. I love that. It means a lot to me. So in the meantime, I'm wishing you a very creative week and a very peaceful and beautiful week. All right, take care.